Hello, everyone. And hello, Marita Rahlenbeck, our Emerald member, kindly joining us today to talk about winter solstice and how important today really is. I would like to start our conversation from a little quote I found when I was doing my Google search today, which, if you don't mind, I'll bring quoted as, I think, a good summary of what winter solstice is. So here it goes. Solstice is a junction point, a time to pause and find the still point of the turning world, the place from which we can begin to create our destiny for the year to come.
Mm-hmm.
How do you... Is it a good summary of what today really is, what that winter solstice really is?
Well, I love the word still point. First of all, let's go back in terms of practicality. I have 10:30, so 10:30, and solstice, the exact moment was in my time zone 4:02, so 6.5 hours ago, right? So that was the balance of the light versus the dark, right? We have the balance of the exact time of darkness and lightness. And that right there is we could have a great conversation on living in the light and acknowledging the shadow of we all have shadow, right?
Yes.
So that, I think that's kind of important to know. And I have to also tell you that I used to think that I was raised in a religious church. And then I went off way on the other extreme where I went really fundamental. And I used to think solstice was this evil thing. I don't know where that necessarily came from, but
celebration.
When you're in that kind of a rigid environment, that's the kind of thing, and now I think of it as one of the most holiest of days. And I mean, I'm talking with you, it's my passion. And then I have one meeting today and the rest is all ritual and visioning, that kind of thing. It's like my day. And I actually leveraged the energies starting on Saturday. I think I took about 4 hours and just really envisioned. And I pulled this and I brought this into my office. So everything that I do is, I marry everything that I do with oil. And with Young Living, we have a blend called Envision. And it's clearly, we're in this place of envisioning. We're envisioning our life, our future, the planet's future. And it's a beautiful addition to anything that you want to create. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, I sat Saturday for 4 hours and what do I want the first quarter? And then I expanded it through the year. I used this oil. I used animal medicine, ascended masters. I just did my magic. So, and for those of you listening, this is also, it's not like you missed out by not doing it Saturday. There's always a window of time where you can leverage this creation process.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. If we didn't do it on Saturday, whether we missed that opportunity. So
no, not at all. I had time, so it was just like, this is about me now. And I took it. But right now, and I also want to just talk about what's also happening today. So we've got the solstice that happens every year, the winter solstice, summer solstice, depending on where you are in the world, right? It happens every year. And we also have this planetary conjunction today. That happens every 20 years, but this one is even more powerful. And I got chills just saying that.
Yes, so, me too. It's an historic date, isn't it?
It's like a big, ridiculous deal. So I want to just read something that I received from one of my teachers. This is a conjunct between Jupiter and Saturn. Exactly today, coming up at 1:21 Eastern, because she works on Eastern time. So 11, 12, in 3 hours, roughly, from wherever you are, That's the exact moment when they conjunct, right? So this will set the tone for the next 20 years. So that right there should tell you that if you want to create something for the next 20 years, like today is the day to be sitting down and doing that. Now, that said, what did we just say? We said there's always a window of energy, right? So it's not like, oh, if you don't get it done today, you're SOL. That's not true. So, but this time that we're moving into is we're moving out of the me generation, and we're now really looking at the all, the oneness, the wholeness of who we are as a people. For those of you that are entrepreneurs, because I do feel that there's a lot of entrepreneurs in our group.
Yes, there are.
This is a great day to ponder your role in your future. Like, what is it that you're wanting to create and bring forth into the world? And then even if you're not, if you're not an entrepreneur, but everybody has a sphere of influence. You're influencing your family, or if you're a teacher, you've got a classroom of kids, albeit remote right now. But what is it that you're wanting to be a leader in? Now is the time to really look at that and gain the confidence and get ready to soar is really what that's about, right? Another time that's important is for those of you that are really into the magic with a K, the exact opening of the Aquarian Age portal is today at 5:37 Central. So again, doing the time change, 5:37 Central and PM. And that's the portal where we really bring in the Aquarian Age, and what a big deal that is. And so again, just the massive amount of magic and ritual and ceremony that we can be doing. And that's exactly what I'm doing this afternoon. I have, like I said, I've got that one meeting, and then there's so many things I could do, but you can only take so much in. So I've chosen three things.
Wonderful. And would you have any recommendations in terms of those rituals? I know, dream boards, vision boards, whatever we call them, are ideal for this time. That's what I've been about to do. I'm just about to do that myself. But if you don't mind, share some other ideas for our viewers.
Well, there is no one way to do anything. I think the biggest thing is to literally take time and be in stillness. Light a candle, diffuse some oil, put something like this on your third eye and your crown, maybe to stimulate that connection. And really ask yourself, what is it that you want? And what are you willing? Like, we want a lot of things. I work with clients who want a lot of things, but they're never, I shouldn't say that, not all of them are willing to actually invest the money that it takes to achieve that, let alone wanting to take the time to do it. They want everything handed to them. So that needs to go over here. What are you wanting, and what are you willing to do to get there? This is a marriage between the third and the fifth and higher dimensions. We're here on this planet, so we can't sit and pray at the top of the mountain and expect all this to come to us. We have to take action.
It doesn't happen. Yes, unfortunately, not that way.
Yes. So what are you wanting, and what are you willing to do? And then you wait for the guidance, and you take the inspired action.
And take the inspired action, which is the key to any achievement and any goal which we set up for ourselves. So in a way, it's a really good time to commit to that dream, that goal, which we can ask ourselves in the moment of quietness, whether that's really what we want to start with, and then commit ourselves to that goal. Wow. So it's a big day.
It's a huge day. It's exciting. And that all this today comes on top of the 12/12 portal, the eclipse on the 14th, So these last not even 10 days have been like, oh my goodness. And a lot of times, like, because I was raised in the religious background in the Christian tradition, and then I went really fundamental. I know scripture, and there's one, I think it's Paul, that says, I forget now how he says it, but basically he doesn't have the words to pray. And so he's just like, just know my heart, read my heart. And there are times like that where I'm like that. It's like, I can't even find words. And that speaks to how our energy, as we've talked a lot about vibration in the group, as we get higher in vibration, words they're cumbersome. They're like really frustrating. And so that prayer then becomes really important. Just read my heart, know what it is that I really yearn for and long for. And just trust that goes out there and is seen and heard, and
that your energy, your frequency will be matched with that.
Yes.
Sort of manifested with that actual outcome your heart desires. Oh, that's a very interesting way of putting it. I've never thought of that sort of heart message, which not necessarily is we can translate into words, I guess, because we are talking about two different languages almost.
Well, exactly. And that speaks into being comfortable with being quiet. Like, do you have people in your life that can be in your home and you don't have to talk? You don't have to have a conversation. You're just there and you're communing. You're just communing. I don't know how else to say it. There are very few people in my world that actually are comfortable with that. I had a friend over for dinner. Well, it's been a while now, but I left to go to the bathroom, and I came back and she had turned her music on her phone because she couldn't handle the stillness in my house. I've always been, I used to always have music on, but then after my head injury, I couldn't handle that. I mean, like, oh my God, it was literally painful. And so now it's not weird for me to not have music on. It's kind of weird for me to have music on. And I'm just now, especially now with the Christmas season, it's like, oh, I'd like to have some music on. So when people aren't comfortable with silence, it speaks to a little bit of like discordance within them, that like, it's almost like if they can break through that, they get they're ascending a little bit higher, right? In their evolution.
Yes. Well, I guess we are learning that during meditation, that quiet time when we can reconnect with ourselves rather than escape to external noises and events. So I guess for people who haven't done much meditation, it might be really difficult. And I've been there a few years ago. I haven't meditated then. I didn't meditate then. And I remember my beginnings were rather difficult to quiet the monkey brain and the chatter, internal chatter. So I appreciate that, but it's possible. It starts from the little step, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We don't know. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time here in my office, and I recorded 9 chapters from my book for my audiobook. And
wow.
It's my kitty, and I wrote this book, and she talks about the pause steps. She said, pause steps forward are smaller than human steps, but every pause step forward is progress because there's movement. At least you're not stagnant.
That's right, exactly, absolutely. But going back to that historic planetary alignment, and I guess astrology is full of powerful messages at this moment. It can be a bit overwhelming. I mean, are we expecting a completely new, different world, as some seem to be suggesting?
Well, that's a great question, and the answer is that anybody, you and I, can both look at an object, the same object, and have different experiences. So the answer is, who are they in the moment? Where are they on their journey? I mean, you can just look at my country. It's like totally ass backwards, upside down, on its ear. We're all having the same experience differently, right?
Yes.
So we're all having the same experience with this with the energies that are coming in, the conjunction. It's all the same, and yet it's not, because oh my God, I watched a movie yesterday and they talked about that quantum physics concept of just by observing something, it's already different. Just by observing it, it's already changed. So, and then that segues into the whole idea of, meditating together. Look at what happens when thousands of people come together at the same time to meditate.
Yes.
It changes.
Yes.
The world changes. So we're not all going to have, it's not going to be this thing, but we're all looking at life from our particular vantage. Like, where are we on this excuse me, ascension ladder, if you will? Where are we, and how does this feed in?
Yes.
So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just it's a perspective.
It's a individual journey and individual perspective. Yes, but you mentioned those meditations. There will be quite a few global or mass meditations happening. I'm pretty
sure.
Assume
there are. I'm not involved with any. I've seen things like that going on, and they're always happening, especially around like strategic kind of leverage points throughout history.
Yes. Well, I think it's worth looking around on YouTube and Facebook or other social media, which I'm not aware of, to find those sort of meditations and practices. And I'm myself, I'll be making sure that my dream board, vision board, whatever we call it, is ready soon. And I think it's a really good advice to slow down and sort of stay still and just breathe in the energies, the shift which is happening.
Well, allow it. If you think of it as, well, it is an energy. So if you think of it as an energy, and like take a deep breath in and just allow that energy to wash over you. Just allow it and just trust and have the intention of, for my highest good, highest good. And then be prepared. And your life might turn upside down. It's not always, awakening is not always fun. It's like I did a video on that where sometimes it's a hot mess. Sometimes your awakening is a hot mess, and there's fallout, and it's not happy, and it's not pretty, but it's all part of, it's all part of that. But when you think about a cocoon, and then you think of the butterfly, well, what happens in the middle? What happens in that? It's like they actually, these beings, I'll say just beings, they go from this caterpillar into literally a gelatinous I am nothing state, and come out a butterfly. So when you
spread their wings and sort of shine the beautiful light here with their beauty. Yes.
Yeah. But you have to go through that I am nothing. Who am I? It's not always an easy thing. And that's usually when we go through the dark night of the soul of like, why did I come here? And I don't want to be here, and all of those kinds of questions. But for now, it's let's leverage the joy of this unique, powerful time that we're in, and come out different, come out transformed on the other side.
Yes, because the message here is it's worth being on the other side, but it is a process, and if there are some bumps on the way, it's still worth going. And we've got this massive energies which are definitely to help. I think that is the most exciting news about this particular winter solstice and this particular time we live in. I think I said it before that we, in terms of our souls, we're queuing to get that human experience at this particular time. So I don't know what it is, but I seem to sense it's very special.
Well, and I believe that if we go into it with that anticipation of it's really special, that kind of like blesses that, and it creates an awareness that you carry into that yeah, I'm open to receiving this gift. I'm open. So that's what I would encourage you all to do, is just be open to the gifts that the solstice and the conjunct hold. And if you happen to be listening to this, like next week, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't do my intentions, well, do them now. Just do them now. It's not like the universe isn't going to hear you.
No. No, thank you so much, Marita, for sharing your insights and your wisdom.
You're
Greatly
welcome.
appreciated. And I'm absolutely positive our viewers will benefit from the advice. And as you said, it's never too late to set up an intention and follow the heart. Exactly. And use that cosmic energy, since we have it. So thank you so much to you and to everyone who's watching it now and on the replay. And we will see you soon. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, in my case. And bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.